Sarvadharmasthapakatvam sarvadharmasvarupakaha acharyanam mahacharyo Ramakrishnaya te namaha. O establisher of all the faiths, embodiment of all the religions, the greatest teacher among all the teachers, O Sri Ramakrishna, my salutations to you. And Sri Ramakrishna, having revised his teaching to us on the transcendental journey, transcendental evolution of mind from the lowermost three centers which are entrapping us in the worldly life, the transcendence to the higher and higher planes, enjoying the divine experiences. And finally, having reached the seventh chakra, having reached the ultimate plane of spirituality, the mind getting merged in Brahman, and then that state cannot be described, Sri Ramakrishna has said. The moment the mind crosses the seventh plane, the Sahasrara, what happens cannot be described. And then Sri Ramakrishna gave that his most favorite example of the salt doll. Salt doll going to ocean to measure its depth. Salt doll is telling people, okay, I will go to the ocean, I will measure the depth, and I'll come back and tell you how deep is that ocean. The salt doll enters the ocean, and that's the end of it. Where is the doll? And who will come back to tell us how deep is that ocean? It is impossible. That experience is beyond the comprehension of our ordinary minuscule senses, for that matter. We cannot describe those things. So that is what Sri Ramakrishna had taught us. And then he said, but till the time this wicked eye is there, that experience is impossible. Then Sri Vijay Krishna Goswami asked him a question, that if without destroying the I, a man cannot get rid of attachment to the world, if a man has to get rid of attachment of the world through vision of God, which is possible only after elimination of the I, after destruction of the ego, if that is not possible through the ways, ordinary ways, through the path of bhakti, then it would be wise for him to follow the path of knowledge. He says through the path of bhakti, it might be extremely difficult to take the mind beyond the plane of Sahasrara. Then why does not a person follow the path of jnana, follow the path of knowledge, and with the process of discrimination, with the process of understanding what is real and what is unreal, destroy the ego? That is, according to Vijay Krishna Goswami, that could be easier. If the I persists in the path of devotion, if the I, because Sri Ramakrishna has said that till the time the mind is here at the plane of the eyebrows, of the Ajna Chakra, ego still remains. Although it is now a bit controlled, but ego is still there, and because of ego is still there, there is no direct contact with the Brahman, with the Satchidananda, with the Paramatman. Ego is putting up that barrier. So the question that Vijay Krishna Goswami is posing to Sri Ramakrishna is, it is better than to follow the path of knowledge. We don't have all these, long, tedious process of rising the mind from the lower levels to the Sahasrara and then eliminate the ego with process of discrimination. What is real? What is unreal? What is permanent? What is impermanent? We can actually get rid of the ego. That's what Vijay Krishna Goswami feels. If the I persists in the path of devotion, then one should rather choose the path of knowledge. Now, Sri Ramakrishna listens to the argument put forth by Vijay Krishna Goswami, and he replies, it is true that one or two can get rid of their I, through samadhi, attained through path of yoga, path of jnana. But these cases are very rare. As it is, Sri Ramakrishna says, even from the path of bhakti, if one attains samadhi, those are hardly one or two. The cases are so rare. You may indulge in thousands of reasonings. Now Sri Ramakrishna has brought attention of Vijay Krishna Goswami and others on how difficult is path of knowledge also. It is not that you simply keep on discriminating and you get rid of ego. You keep on saying this body is not real. This all the panchakoshas that we have, they are not real. Only reality is the Paramatman. You may reason on these counts, but Sri Ramakrishna says that is not going to get rid of your ego so easily as you think. You may indulge in thousands of reasonings. Still, I comes back. Sri Ramakrishna says this I is so rigid, so stubborn. In spite of thousands of reasoning, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the prana, I am not the spirit. Telling all these things again and again and again, 1,000 times, the I still remains, and it is very stubborn for that matter. It again comes back. You may feel for a moment, I have got rid of my I. I have eliminated, destroyed my ego. But no, suddenly it will come from some corner and just catch hold of your neck. You may cut the peepal tree to the very root today, but you will notice a sprout springing up tomorrow. Sri Ramakrishna says, a huge peepal tree, you may cut the whole tree and even take out the roots. But the next day, you will find that some sprout has again come up. I is like that. Ego is like that, Sri Ramakrishna says. Therefore, if this I must remain, now this I cannot be destroyed at all, Sri Ramakrishna says. Whether you follow the path of devotion, whether you follow the path of reasoning and the knowledge for that matter, I persists. Now Sri Ramakrishna says, therefore, if the I must remain, then let the rascal remain as servant I. Let it not try to be master I. Let this I be a servant I. As long as you live, you should say, oh God, you are the master, I am your servant. Oh God, you are the mother, I am your child. You are the deity, I am your devotee. That is the attitude you should put this I into. Not that I am so and so. I have got so many riches. I have got so much property. Who can steal 10 rupees from me like that big landlord who was thinking? You keep that I to the level of a servant I, to the level of a child I, to the level of a devotee I. The attitude of I that feels I am a servant of God, I am his devotee, does not injure one. Sweet things cause acidity in the stomach, no doubt, but sugar candy is an exception. Now, sugar candy is one such sweet which doesn't, if we eat sugar candy, it doesn't give acidity to us. But otherwise, we eat a whole lot of sweetmeats, and at the end of it, we end up getting into that trap of acidity. So Sri Ramakrishna says, the little I, the servant I, the child I, the devotee I is like that sugar candy. You take it a little bit. You take a little bit, there won't be any problem of acidity. There won't be any problem of stomach disturbances. So keep the I in its lowest position. And Sri Ramakrishna tells Vijay Krishna Goswami to his raising the doubt that knowledge is a better way of eliminating I. Sri Ramakrishna says the path of knowledge is extremely difficult. You may reason 1,000 times, but it is not an easy path at all, Sri Ramakrishna says. One cannot obtain knowledge unless one gets rid of the feeling that one is the body. To attain that highest knowledge, one should give up body consciousness. And is it possible to get rid of that body consciousness so easily? Every now and then, we are possessed with this body consciousness. Every moment of our life, we are possessed with this, the ghost of body consciousness. We just cannot get rid of it. And Sri Ramakrishna says, unless until we get rid of body consciousness, we cannot attain any knowledge. Because to attain knowledge, you must go beyond the plane of body consciousness. In the Kali Yuga, Sri Ramakrishna says, now this point he has told earlier also. In the Kali Yuga, the life of man is centered on food. Our entire living process, for that matter, is food oriented, because we have to sustain the body, and that sustaining the body includes we are conscious of our body consciousness. He cannot get rid of feeling that he is the body and the ego. He cannot get rid of that feeling. He cannot get rid of the feeling that he is away from the body. He cannot get rid of the feeling that he is away from the ego. Body is not his. This Annamaya Kosha is not me. He cannot get rid of this basic assumption. That is assumption, of course. But he cannot get rid of it, that I am not a body. He cannot get rid of the feeling that he is not the body and the ego. Therefore, path of devotion is prescribed in this cycle of Kali Yuga. That is the best thing. Devotion is nothing but getting into the mode of surrender. Surrendering oneself at the lotus feet. And when that surrender happens when we truly become humble, when we truly bring down our ego from that high state, from that bloated, the elated ego. Any person with the high ego can never surrender. Forget about surrendering to the Lord or to any holy person or to anybody. Till the time that ego is bloated, till the time that ego is inflated, position of surrendering is beyond anyone's comprehension. We cannot surrender with the high ego. To surrender, we must bring down the ego. Only then we can get into the path of bhakti. And path of bhakti means surrendering, taking a sharanagati at the lotus feet of the Lord, surrendering ourselves at the lotus feet of the Divine Mother. And you are the doer. I am nothing. I am insignificant. You are playing with me the way you want. You play. I am just a chariot. You are the charioteer. Getting that understanding, that is bhakti. And Sri Ramakrishna says, path of devotion is prescribed for this cycle. This is an easy path. You will attain God if you sing His names and glories and pray to Him with a longing heart. There is not the least doubt about it. Now, this is the great confidence that Sri Ramakrishna is giving to these devotees. Follow the path of devotion. Follow the path of bhakti and transform your highly inflated ego to the ego of a child, to the ego of a servant, to the ego of a devotee. And then take complete shelter. Don't keep anything, don't keep any botherations on your head. Let all the botheration, pass on all those botherations, pass on all those troubles, pass on all those tensions and stress on to the Lord. Let Him take care of everything. Who am I after all? I am nothing. I am just insignificant child of the mother. Of course I am a child. In that respect I am significant, but I am her simple child. I don't know what to do. She makes me do everything. She gets everything done through me the way she wants. So why should I worry? So with that attitude, Sri Ramakrishna says, if one surrenders to God, one devotes oneself at the lotus feet of the Lord, then there is no doubt that one will attain to that state of knowing that the ego is now under control. Suppose you draw a line on the surface of water. Now, yesterday also Sri Ramakrishna gave us this example of putting a line, putting a stick on water, and we say this side is this water, that side of the stick is that water. Now, that is the creating an imaginary division between the body of that water. Now, Sri Ramakrishna is again giving a similar example. He says, suppose you draw a line with a bamboo stick on the surface of water. What will happen? Suppose you draw a line on the surface of water with a bamboo stick. The water appears to be divided into two parts. This side, you see, I am drawing a line on the surface of water. This side is one part of water. That side is another part of water. But the line doesn't remain for any length of time. It is not that you are putting a bamboo stick on the surface of water. You are just drawing a line. You are drawing a line on the surface of water with a bamboo stick. And till you are drawing the line, till that depression is there on the surface of the water, you can make out, okay, this side of the line, that side of the line. But that line we are making hardly remains there. Not just the moment we take bamboo stick to further down, the previous portion has all become water once again. There is no division, there is no demarcation then. The servant eye or the devotee eye or the child eye is only a line drawn with the ego, and it is not real. It is just a line drawn. When we convert our eye to servant eye, we transform our bloated or inflated eye, inflated ego to the servant ego or the child ego or the devotee ego. It is like drawing a line with a bamboo stick on water. It is that ego becomes like that. It is hardly making any impact as such. The water cannot be divided just by putting a line with the bamboo stick on the water surface. So Sri Ramakrishna says that is how you can tame the ego. That is how you can bring the ego under your control. And once the ego is brought under control, everything becomes so easy. So that is Sri Ramakrishna's teaching to Vijay Krishna Goswami, that although yes, path of knowledge also is possible, but it is extremely difficult in this Kali Yuga, in this present age, when we cannot get rid of the body consciousness. Now, when we cannot get rid of the body consciousness, best alternative is change this ego, transform this ego, inflated ego, to a servant ego, child ego, devotee ego. Om Namah Shri Bhagavate Ramakrishnaaya. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Jai Thakur, Jai Ma, Jai Swamiji.